What does a come down feel like? So it's been a long time since I felt what a come down feels like, thank goodness. But I'm going to talk to you about what it was like for me. So when I finally stopped session, which was usually after 3 days, or usually when money ran out and I didn't have any money left, I didn't want the high to end because I knew that I was going to come down with a bump. So my logic was to keep going as long as I possibly could, which is the most ridiculous thing to do because eventually then you come down even harder. And it was just the most horrific time. Not only did I want to unalive myself and not be here anymore, but also the amount of sleep that I would need to get myself back to feeling normal and human was ridiculous. Like I would sleep for like a full 24 hours. That was the first thing. I would just need so much sleep because I hadn't slept for days. And I just would feel mentally exhausted, and then the depression would hit, and then it would be this overwhelming sense of doom, like I don't want to be here, blah blah blah. It was just horrific. It was the most awful feeling, and I would just be going over and over it in my head. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why have I gone back to doing this again? And it just used to be soul destroying. It was the worst feeling, and I noticed as time went on that the come downs were getting worse. It was taking me longer to recover. It was taking me a good 4 days to start to feel normal again. And then as soon as I had a feeling of like being a little bit back to normal, the first thing I would do, my brain would trick me into going to get another bag and a drink, and I would repeat the cycle again. So I was in this horrific cycle of 4 days feeling like shit, get back on it for 3 days, off it for 4 days, on it for 3 days, off it for 4 days. And that went on for, towards the end, that was how it was. Like it was literally soul destroying, because it was either 4 days where I just couldn't touch it because I was so ill and I just felt so low. And then as soon as I started to feel a little bit better, rather than push through those feelings and stick with it, I would go back to it. And every time I would hate myself so much. I would have so much self-hatred, so much regret. And it was just like, I just felt like I was on this hamster wheel that I was never going to get off, you know? And the only way through that is to push through those uncomfortable feelings. When you get to the 4th day, it is hard because my brain would literally try constantly to say, get a bag, get a bag, get a bag. And I did try to fight it. But I just didn't want it enough at the time. I had to be completely done with it. And I was just done with it. That's the only way I can explain. There was no kind of massive rock bottom moment other than I put a washing line around my, and that was a kind of wake up call, because it made me realize how close I was to the end. You know, like I just thought, I'm not going to be here for much longer if I carry on doing this. But they were really dark times. It's nothing like a hangover. Like when you're on a come down from coke and alcohol, it's the worst feeling. It's the worst sense of doom and gloom and depression, and it's not real as well. That's the worst part about it, is that you know you only feel like that because of the drugs and the alcohol. But you can't reason with that either. You can't kind of put it to bed because of how bad you actually do feel. But yeah, it would mean that I wouldn't be able to see anybody. I wouldn't be able to talk to anybody. I wouldn't be able to do my job, go to work, look after the kids properly, everything. Like, you know, it was just, I just didn't want to speak to anyone. It just made me a complete recluse, and I didn't want to wash my hair. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything to help myself. And those days were the darkest days. So if that sounds like you, please get in touch. We're taking on 10 new people on the 1st of June.